Hi, Assalamualaikum to all my friends and Miss Shuhada, my lecturer. Okay, today I want to present about critical thinking about my report. Okay. Introduction, critical and creative thinking. Creativity is a creation of a new and unique idea. It is a divergent process, begins at a single question or point. Thinking out of the box, breaking down and restructuring our knowledge in producing and advancements in new technology, medicines, management, transportations and every element of human life. Okay, maksudnya tak semestinya creativity untuk creative thinking ataupun critical thinking untuk sesuatu part saja. Dia boleh ke dalam pembaharuan teknologi, ubat-ubatan, bahagian pengurusan, transport ataupun semua yang berkaitan dengan kehidupan manusia. The search is expanding into many different directions, generating a wide variety of new ideas. Alright, let's go to how to develop strategies to increase critical thinking among students. Okay, first 1.1 definition of critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to think clearly and rationally, understanding and the logical connection between ideas. Okay, maksudnya kita berfikir secara kritikal untuk memandang sesuatu masalah itu, kita kena berfikiran secara rasional dan kita kena kosongkan otak kita lah macam tu. So kita kena faham and kita kena tahu apa dia punya connection, hubungan itu. Okay? Alright. Critical thinking has been the subject of much debate and thought since the time of early Greek philosophers such as Plato and Socrates, and has continued to be a subject of discussion into the modern age. For example, the ability to recognize fake news. Number 2. Critical thinking might be described as the ability to engage in reflective and independent thinking. In essence, critical thinking requires you to use your ability to reason. It is about being an active learner rather than a passive recipient of information. Point 3. Critical thinkers rigorously question ideas and assumptions rather than accepting them at face value. They will always seek to determine whether the ideas, arguments and findings represent the entire picture and are open to finding that they do not. Critical thinkers will identify, analyze and solve problems systematically rather than by intuition or instinct. Alright. Number 5. Someone with critical thinking skills can understand the link between ideas, determine the importance and relevance of arguments and ideas, recognize well and appraise arguments, identify inconsistencies and errors in reasoning, approach problems in a consistent and systematic way, reflect on the justifications of their own assumptions, belief and value. Alright, di sini kalau berfikiran, kita nak berfikiran secara critical thinking secara kreatif, kita kena kaitkan, kena memahami apa sebab masalah itu berlaku. And kita yang paling penting, kita kena cari kenapa pergaduhan itu boleh berlaku, and kita kena cari idea macam mana kita nak menyelesaikan sesuatu masalah. Critical thinking is thinking about things in certain ways so as to arrive at the best possible solution in the circumstance that the thinker is aware of. In a more everyday language, it is a way of thinking about whatever is presently occupying your mind so you come to the best possible conclusions. Alright, 1.2 definition of creative skill. Creativity is a valuable workplace skill because it can be a useful tool for developing new ideas, increasing efficiency, and devising solutions to complex problems. Examples of creativity skills. There are several kinds of creativity skills that you can practice to become more creative in the workplace. Used in combination, they can be effective in helping you think differently about a problem or a task. They include, like making connections. Example, contohnya kita nak mengadakan sesuatu komunikasi dengan asking question, maksudnya bertanyakan soalan. Making observations, kita kena bekerjasama. Networking, kita kena ada maksudnya macam perhubungan bekerjasama untuk bertanya macam mana kerja ni macam mana. Experimenting, let's go for making connections. Maksud dia, when you are creative, you find connections between different ideas and use those connections to solve problems. Bila kita kreatif, kita boleh cari macam mana kita nak adakan komunikasi ataupun perhubungan dengan pelbagai idea yang kita boleh berikan untuk menyelesaikan sesuatu masalah. For 2, making observations. You can discover fresh ways of doing things by observing the world around you. Maksudnya, kita boleh keluarkan apa yang cara yang terbaru untuk kita observing the world around you. Number 3, networking. When we are creative, we can usually enjoy diverse company and networking with people who are unlike themselves. Bila kita ni kreatif, kita boleh masukkan suasana yang enjoy. Maksudnya suasana yang happy bila kita dekat pejabat ataupun di tempat kerja ataupun di mana sahaja. Let's go. How to improve creativity skills. Macam mana kita nak improvekan lagi skill untuk kreatif kita tu. There are a number of activities and exercise you can try that can help improve your creativity. Dekat sini kita ada 5 creativity. Try the circle challenge. Maksud dia, draw 20 circles, then set a stopwatch for 30 seconds. Make each circle into a unique picture before the timer ends. This exercise forces you to think about the same thing in different ways. Repeat it periodically to see how your thoughts change over time. Maksudnya, kita akan cubakan a circle challenge. Draw 20 circle. Maksudnya, kita lukis bulatan dan kita kena setkan jam untuk 3 saat ataupun 30 saat. Make each circle into a ways unique picture before the time ends. Maksudnya dalam bulatan tu, kita boleh lukiskan apa-apa gambar yang unik sebelum masa 30 saat itu tamat. Jadi bila kita tiap-tiap hari macam kita amalkan the circle challenge tu, kita boleh tengok hari ni kita dapat buat berapa minit. Besok berapa saat. So besok kita tengok masa makin berkurang-berkurang. Jadi kita punya pemikiran tu lebih kreatif and cepat nak dapatkan idea. Number 2, use a sketch pad. Sketch pad ni bila kita nak buat sesuatu exercise, biasalah sketch pads, kita akan melukis ke menulis apa-apa sahaja idea yang terlintas di dalam kepala otak kita untuk mengeluarkan lagi idea dan untuk menolong lagi apa yang kita nak bercakap selepas itu. Ataupun contoh macam kita nak presentation ke. Number 5, exercise. Okay, exercise ini untuk mental dan juga fizikal. Okay, seperti macam adding regular exercise, if even for 20 until 30 minutes per week, itu pun dah terbaik untuk diri kita. Alright, let's go. 1.3, relationship, critical and creative thinking among students. Thinking styles refers to the way a person's natural predispositions in processing information, embodying the qualities of thinking process as well as types of thinking. Understanding of a person's thinking style is important in all areas of social dealings. Okay, relationship, critical and creative thinking among student ni sangat penting. Kerana inilah untuk kualiti bila kita nak memahami seseorang itu dengan secara sosial. Alright, factors contributing to difference in creative critical thinking style. Different in thinking style and its equations have been attributed to a number of variables, include age, gender, academic ability, socio-economic status, and culture. With respect to creative thinking skills, Lehman 1953 proposed that the peak of creativity occur at the age of 30, while Stanford 1997 suggests that children are more creative before going to school, because in school students must follow the directions. Okay, so when we at the school, we have to apa kita nak kata, kita kena ikut cakap apa cikgu kita mengajar di sekolah. Okey, tapi bila kita tidak berada di sesuatu tempat, contoh macam di sekolah ke yang kita ada berguru, mungkin di luar kita akan menggunakan apa yang kita belajar tu dengan pemikiran yang kreatif. Okay, so for the conclusion, in conclusion, a slightly larger percentage of community college students are found to have creative thinking style, and the trend is similar among males and females. Alright, now 1.4, expectation of skills among students. From figure 1, it can be seen that students' creative thinking skills in the fluency and originality aspects increase from the less creative categories in pre-cycle, increase in this creative predicate in cycle 1, and increase again in cycles 2 and 3 with creative predicates with higher grades. In the aspects of flexibility, which was originally in the predicate with creative in pre-cycle, it has not experienced an increase in the first cycle. Alright. Description of the increase in each indicator of creative thinking styles. The improvement of creative thinking styles in each cycle is also analyzed on the indicators of each aspect. The results of the analysis can be seen in figure 2. Alright, for the analyzing and content. Based on the results of research and discussion, it can be concluded that the application of PJBL with the project task of making simple pyrolysis and distillation tools can improve creative thinking skills in chemistry learning in 3 cycles in terms of fluency, flexibility, originality, and elaboration. Alright, let's go for a technique to encourage critical thinking among students. Here are a list of ways tutors may generate powerful critical thinking skills in their students, which will serve them well for the rest of their life. Open-end questions. Alright, problem solving, encourage creativity, interactive games. Alright, for the interactive games like free thinking games more, exquisite minds, puzzle, it's all about melibatkan tentang critical thinking, macam mana kita nak menyelesaikan satu masalah itu. Alright, teach independence, ideal examples, classification, vocabulary lessons, mind connections, perhubungan untuk otak kita, okay? Demonstrations, productive debates per assessment. 1.2 Promotional critical thinking into education. Ask questions. Kena rajin bertanyakan soalan. If you not understand what lecturer teach you, you can ask a questions, because that can promote critical thinking into education, untuk pemikiran critical thinking tu maksudnya macam untuk kita nak bertanyakan soalan. Okay, encourage decision making. Okay, since a large part of teaching critical thinking skills revolves around applying knowledge and evaluating solutions, elementary school teachers should encourage decision making as much as possible. Work in groups. Okay, kita kena bekerja secara dalam grup untuk kita mendapatkan berbagai lagi idea, untuk menambahkan lagi pengetahuan. Incorporate different points of view. Connect different ideas. Inspire creativity and brainstorm. Brainstorming is a time-honored tradition in elementary education. Is an excellent learning tool. It's also an excellent critical thinking exercise, especially when paired with visual elements that bring original thinking and classroom discussion to life. Okay, 1.3 Essential skills for critical thinking. First of all, that's what almost every employer seeks. Secondly, in the era of fake news, contrasting data, and so much information to process every day, critical thinking is the only way to make sense of the world. This guide will show you the best definition of critical thinking skills, how to use critical thinking skills step by step, a list of the most important critical thinking skills for the workplace, how to use them to get more job offers, tools and ideas for improving your critical skills fast. Steps of critical thinking. 1. Identify the problem or questions. 2. Gather data, opinions, and argument. 3. Analyze and evaluate the data. 4. Identify assumptions. 5. Establish significance. 1.4 Type of instrument to test creative part among students and how effective is it? Pre-assessment or diagnostic assessment, formative assessment, summative assessment. For a pre-assessment or a diagnostic assessment, before creating the instruction, it's necessary to know for what of students you are creating the instructions. 2. Formative assessment is used in the first attempt for developing instruction. Number 3. Summative assessment is aimed at assessing the extent to which the most important outcomes at the end of the instruction have been reached. 1.4 SWOT of yourself. Alright, this is about myself. S. My strength is singing, cooking, makeup, and do a comedy. I study at Common Point College and I take diploma in secretaryship. Now I study for course I take. Alright, for a W, I don't like packing things at home or anything about packing. I can improve, I can study packing house and anything. I lazy exercise and I hard go exercise if I don't have anyone can help me go exercise. Furthermore, I don't like mathematics because it's so hard for me. I avoid to take wrong friends. Alright, for the O, I can see my professional area at work what I study about course I take. I want obtain my study until degree. If I want get notice, then I save a note and set notification. If I get the change for a get different job, I want to be nurse. But yeah, I'm not clever girl. Okay, nothing. My family and people around of me can give me support for achieve my goals and my target. Okay, for the last one, for the T, I have to face about my body shaming because my body fat and my face not glasses skin. I don't have best friend like that. Alright. For the explain how creative you are 1.5, the definition of creative problem solving CPS will vary between organizations. At its core, CPS involves approaching a problem in an imaginative, innovative, and unconventional way. The process encourages you to find new creative ways of thinking that can help you overcome the issue at hand more quickly. I creative in identify the goal is before solving problem. You need to fully understand the problem you are trying to solve. You may have overlooked or misunderstood some details. Take some time to analyze the conflict and clear up any confusion. Okay, for the lastly, conclusion summary. In this chapter, we have examined what critical thinking is and how it involves more than simply being critical. Understanding critical thinking helps in formulating and studying arguments. We see arguments every day in advertising, use arguments to persuade others, and we use them to benefit us. The overview of fallacies show not all arguments are valid or even logical. Always critical thinking and examine any argument you confront, and remember that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is a fallacious argument. Alright, thank you for my present today. Okay, bye.